Welcome back to the world of the Matrix. Now, last time I left off, I said that there were so many more logical fallacies that Morpheus had that I had to do a follow-up video. But I also thought that the Matrix is a good time to talk about more of the supernatural realm. An excuse, if you will, to explore what it would really mean to have an actual world where the supernatural is actually in existence. What this would mean is that our world is far more complex than we think it is. Ghosts, demons, angels, deities, these things would be real things. And as such, our world would be a world where we could never be sure that another human was really a human. And in fact, in the Christian Bible, it does say that angels look identical to humans. So how would you know? Somebody could make that claim and there would be no way to verify it. And what I think is the most interesting little tidbit that I have found in studying the Christian Bible is it says, test the spirits. But bizarrely enough, never tells you how to go about testing the spirits. And yet you're not allowed to test God. So if the devil claims to be God, you have to take its word for it, I guess.
Resist there being a creator, an outside source. God is a necessary being because for the simple reason, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So therefore, there has to be someone or something that is capable of existing outside of itself.
I know I already covered this, but again, how does this work? Okay, subatomic particles and quarks are about the smallest we can get as far as the things that make us up. So atoms maybe is a little bit easier to deal with. If you don't have atoms, you can't have molecules. If you don't have subatomic particles and quarks, you can't have atoms. So the smallest thing that we know is still a thing that makes us up, that makes us able to exist at all. So what is God made out of? You can't just say spirit or soul because, again, you have to tell us what that is made out of. So either ultimately God itself is made up of nothing, which means God is made of nothing, which means that other things can be made out of nothing, or God is made from something, which means that we don't need something to come from something else that is apart from anything else. So which is it? It's one or the other. It can't be both.
You mean to tell me that all of these other things that we see that has matter, that has existence, came in existence by a creator, but something as complex as the human body, something as complex as the human mind, the eyes, came into existence because of process of time?
Not everything is made by a creator. Plants, animals, humans, natural things are not made by a creator, at least as far as I can tell. The pattern seeking that you're invoking says, look at these complex things like computers or skyscrapers or cars, and those things are made by intelligence. Therefore, we, being complex beings, have to be made by some sort of thing that has an intelligence because I don't understand enough about science to understand how evolution works, so therefore it can't be by that, which is nothing more than an appeal to personal incredulity as well as an argument from ignorance because you don't understand the science. But yes, I am going to tell you, Morpheus, once and for all, and once again, yes, this stuff, all of everything, has come about by biological evolution, what you just call time. It took a lot of time to get where we are today. The Earth has been around for 4.54 billion years. And we're fairly new to it as far as species go. The Homo sapiens are, at any rate. And other species have been around for much longer. The trilobite, for example, has been around for much longer. It, too, has evolved, but it's evolved in a very interesting way because it's kept its a similar appearance and has changed very slightly, but everything evolves. I am much happier with the theist that embraces biological evolution than I am with the theist that rejects biological evolution. More so when they do it without even bothering to try to understand it. They'll just, oh, no, it's not true. And it's like, did you even study it? No. I just know it's not true. Or you have faith in it. Or you can't prove that it's true. Where's your evidence against it? You don't have any. Oh, there's a massive scientific conspiracy. And I talked to somebody via chat that was insisting that this video proved that biological evolution was untrue. And I said, no, it doesn't. It's been debunked. And now you're just lying to me. You're just outright lying to me and to yourself about what you think are facts, and you're saying, don't look at the books, that's not proof of anything, the books have been written by the scientists who are lying to us. So what about the evidence itself? What about all of this? And, oh, no, that doesn't count. I have to go on a little bit of a tangent because it's related. I had a dream, and it is a dream, but still, I think it could have happened, where this theist was arguing with me about the age of the earth and said there are no animals before this time. And I said, what about the woolly mammoth? They said there was no animals before 14,000 years ago. And I was like, really? What about the woolly mammoth? That's an animal. What about the dinosaurs? Are those animals? And they wouldn't answer the question. And this is so similar to what has happened in real life, where you ask these creationists who don't have anything to go on to produce some evidence, and the only thing that they can say is that the scientific community is lying, or you won't accept the evidence even if we put it forward. They'll never actually produce it because they don't have anything at all. All they can say is, oh, no, that's not right. That's not how it really works. It's wrong because of this and that. And they'll use really bad science to try to show that it's wrong. And then you go, okay, I'm just going to ignore all of that because it's wrong. But show me your positive evidence for what you have. And they won't do it because they don't have it. And they'll make up all sorts of excuses about why they won't just produce it. And It's amazing how that works, but it is so bizarre. I would call it willfully, deliberately ignorant, and I don't understand why people do it. But I don't want them to do it. I want them to stop doing it, and I want them to realize that they can keep their belief in God. They can keep their belief in the Matrix, but they also have to accept the reality of how the Matrix is working. Okay? Inside the Matrix, the people are given lives to lead, and there are truths about the building is made up of code. But the code itself is making up the iron bar that supports the building. And the code is also making up the gravity in that world. So we have to obey the rules of the Matrix in spite of the fact that the Matrix isn't really real. Once we're in it, we still have to obey its rules. Which means even if somebody did program the entire Matrix and the rules of the Matrix were about biological evolution, that means that we still have to accept that biological evolution is how things work inside of the Matrix, even though somebody did create the Matrix as a whole. So, in that sense, if you want to posit a God, fine. Just posit a God that has made or utilized biological evolution. Then I'll have a little less of an issue with you. And you'll have one less stumbling block for people who might want to believe that you have something to offer, but can't get over the fact that you're denying science. Because when you do that, you invoke more logical fallacies than if you didn't do that. So I'm trying to help you out here, Morpheus. I'm trying to help out people like you.
How did the world come into existence? Please don't say the Big Bang Theory. It is an embarrassing argument. Please don't tell me you believe all of this complexity of the human body came into existence by itself or by an explosion. No, God is not dead, and the atheist is wrong. You cannot answer the question where life starts and how the universe came into existence. So this is your argument that you should tell every atheist who tries to mock you, who tries to make fun of the Christian, where did life begins? How did the universe come into existence? It is obvious. We have just proven that the universe is not eternal within itself. I love it. And the atheist too can repent. The atheist too can come to the conclusion that their arguments are vain against the God.
Oh, Morpheus, you've been in the Matrix far, far too long. The world formation is thanks to the sun and the way the solar system developed, which is in turn thanks to other processes, which are all in turn thanks to the Big Bang. That is the most likely answer. That is the best theory that we have so far, although there are other theories in cosmology. But you can't just tell us don't use that one, because that one is very accurate and very true to science. So I understand that you don't understand science, but that doesn't mean we don't get to answer with the answer when the answer is science. I'm sorry, but that is the answer. So yes, we get to say the Big Bang. We get to say biological evolution. This is how things have come to pass. Christians, don't listen to Morpheus. He doesn't understand science, and his logical fallacies are so much that we have to be skeptical of his conclusions. And I would implore you, if you think that the world is young, or ridiculously old for that matter, it's 4.54 billion years old, and you can look into why we know that that's the case yourself. You can research it, you can learn it, you can understand it. Same thing with biological evolution. Research it, go understand it. Same thing with Big Bang and cosmology in general. Research it, understand it, and then you can make a debate that's not a debate out of ignorance. And then maybe, just maybe, you can possibly also learn logic, because for whatever bizarre reason, God doesn't have empirical evidence or a repeatable test, so the only thing God could possibly have would be a logically coherent argument, which I still don't have. And I would continue to insist that unless and until we have a logically coherent argument, we have to continue to be skeptical of the conclusions.